Okay, so if you're tackling any modern AV install, you know the pain point. It's always, how do you reliably move that full-spec high-bandwidth video?
Right.
We're talking 4K, 60 hertz, 18 gigs per second across a big room or even a campus using, standard cost-effective cable.
Exactly.
So our mission today is a deep dive into one specific answer. It's the Blustream HEX70HDUK kit.
And this thing is, it's built to manage those really challenging signals. HDMI 2.0, HDCP 2.2, the stuff that just dies after 10 meters of normal cable.
Yeah, it just falls off a cliff.
It really is an integrator's shortcut to getting that long-distance fidelity.
And the numbers are what really matter here.
Yeah.
The sources all confirm it supports that pristine 4K, 60 hertz, 4.4.4 video up to 40 meters.
Which is pretty impressive.
It is. And if you're just running standard 1080p, that range stretches way out to 70 meters.
Yeah.
And this is all over a single SOCAT cable.
So to get that 40-meter run with the full 4.4.4 color, the magic in the box is something called color space conversion, or CSC.
Okay, so let's unpack that. CSC.
Well, instead of just trying to, brute force 18 GBPs down a seat table, which won't work.
Right.
CSC is the smart compromise. It selectively compresses the color part of the signal while it prioritizes the brightness data.
So you keep the detail.
You keep the important detail. It means you can still support things like HDR while making the whole signal fit down the pipe for a longer HDBaseT run. It's how you get that quality without running fiber everywhere.
That makes perfect sense. It's about smart data management, not just more bandwidth.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is the transmitter side. It's not just a cable replacement, it's a whole presentation hub.
Mm-hmm.
You've got 3 inputs, HDMI, DisplayPort 1.2, and USB-C.
That flexibility is key. Users can swap sources so easily, either with the button or it can just do it automatically.
And the receiver unit is just as clever, isn't it? It has its own local HDMI input.
Yeah, right there near the display. Think about a permanent media player that needs to live by the screen while all the other sources are back in a rack somewhere. It handles that.
Okay, here's a detail that, for me, is essential for any huddle room now, that USB-C input.
Oh, yeah.
It does video up to that full 4K UHD, 60 hertz, 4.4.4, and it has 60-watt charging. One cable for your laptop. Presentation, power, everything.
But there's a big but there.
There is. And it's a really important caveat we found. When that charging feature is actually being used, when the laptop is drawing power,
the video has to drop. It goes down to 4K 60 hertz 4.2.0.
I mean, that's a trade-off.
That little nuance is the difference between a happy user and a help desk call. That jump from 4.4.4 to 4.2.0 is really visible on things like fine PC text or spreadsheets.
Exactly. So if you're presenting complex data, you need to be aware of that charging trade-off.
Absolutely.
And speaking of power, that 60-watt capability brings us to how the whole system is powered. It has bidirectional POSI, power over cable. Why is that such a big deal?
It's just a huge simplification for the install. POC means you only need one power supply for the whole kit.
And you can plug it in on either end.
Either end. The transmitter or the receiver. You don't have to worry about finding an outlet behind the display anymore, which is a lifesaver sometimes.
So beyond power, let's talk control. What can this thing talk to?
It's pretty comprehensive. You can control and configure it through a built-in web page, and it takes commands over IR, RS-232, and TCP/IP.
So it'll integrate with pretty much anything.
For sure.
Yeah.
And a favorite feature for integrators is the auto display on-off function. It can power a screen up or down automatically using CEC or RS-232.
Very slick. And what about audio?
It supports all the known HDMI formats, so your Dolby Atmos, DTS HD, all of that is covered. But the really useful bit for, say, commercial spaces is the audio breakout.
So you can pull the audio out separately.
Simultaneously, you get an analog stereo output and an optical digital output at the same time. That's essential if you need to feed sound to a conferencing system and also some local room speakers.
So when you put it all together,
Yeah.
What does this all mean for you? The HX70HDUK kit, it's clearly much more than just a pair of extenders. It's an integrated AV platform. It's managing high bandwidth video, all these modern inputs, laptop charging, power, and control, all designed to make long-distance projects simpler and more reliable. And, critically, it's got a 5-year warranty.
Which brings up a really interesting question for the future of AV design, I think.
Go on.
Well, since these integrated solutions are now managing the signal, the power, and the control all in one intelligent box, are we moving away from having all these separate single-purpose devices? Are we heading towards a more centralized, simplified architecture that fundamentally changes how we design and cable our rooms, both commercially and at home? It's a pretty big shift in thinking.